Resident Evil Revelations Raid Mode, commentary on Ghost Ship Normal, going solo with some cheese strategies and using level 48 weapons with only a few power upgrades. For this video, let's look at the weapon setup first. As you can see, the weapons are all level 48 and only have a few legendary parts acquired from a lot of grinding and some online events. A lot of solo videos feature level 50 weapons maxed out with plus 30 upgrades, so this shows you it can be done with much less. To do a lot of the cheesing you will see in this run, a lightweight weapon is a must, so you can outrun crazy enemies. In this case, it is the pistol. The pistol also has the fangs attachment, which steals health with every shot. That comes in handy to save on herbs. The key attachment with the high roller is the piercing, so we can damage multiple enemies at a time. The shotgun uses some legendary ghost parts, which is the ammo recovery cornucopia and the all ammo available gluttony. Even with ammo recovery, we still have to conserve ammo as much as possible for the final boss. And we are using the character Keith number 3, who has the most powerful knife weapon and extra dodge skills, both of which we will use a lot, especially for the cheesing in this run.
Let's have some fun out there.
In this first room, everyone is low level and gets 1 or 2 bullets or even the knife, so it should be no problem. Be sure to be on the lightweight weapon, so you can outrun some exploding balloon guys on the way to the kitchen. Here is an example of a failed dodge, so we will recover that health with the pistol, because it has the fangs part for health recovery. These two like to block the path like some kind of high school bullies. A balloon guy will spawn behind you at the same time, so watch out. You will know your health has been fully recovered when the herb counter is no longer glowing. In this case, it's where you see the 14 on the right side. These guys are all generally weak, so knife them if you can, and if you take damage, recover it with the Fang weapon. With the key, it's time to run back to the elevator. On the way there, use the knife as much as you can to save ammo. This comms guy isn't always here, but you can ignore him if you see him. Stay on the lightweight weapon to get by fast. In the water room, we could go to the casino from here, but first we want to dive below as soon as we can and take the underwater door in the southwest to get an extra key. Try to avoid the trumpet fish, but if they grab you, it doesn't cause damage, so just keep going. You could use a pulse grenade to stun them, but it's unnecessary. You can get some air up this grating if you need, but if you didn't get grabbed, you should be fine. Once you enter the room on the map with the 4 ladders, go to the right and remember this because you will take the same route on the way out. The enemies in here are still fairly weak and can all be knifed, including the comms guys that spawn later. This route deliberately tries to get keys where enemies are weak, so stay on the lightweight weapon and keep moving and mowing down these propeller guys. Use your health recovery weapon only if you take damage. To cheese these comms officer bosses, stay on the lightweight weapon so you are fast and just run close to them and quickly move away. This will aggro them into one of 2 attacks. If it's his grab attack where he stumbles and tries to instant kill you, go back and give him a few whacks with the knife. Just don't be near him when he starts that attack or it's game over. If he starts waving that chainsaw arm around, wait for him to swing 3 times. After that 3rd swing goes into the floor, run up and give him a few slices with the knife. There's a weird audio glitch in this control room where his chainsaw sometimes goes silent, but don't let that fool you. You can see at this level the knife does a lot of damage, so he won't take too long to defeat. Once he is down, hunt down the other propeller guys that keep popping up. Cheese the next comm guy the same way. Now that you have the key, we want to exit the same way we came in. so go to the northeast ladder. And leave out the southeast underwater door. The way to the casino is through the big pipe in the northeast. Slice up anyone in the way. The casino enemies are even weaker than the last water control room section, so we will keep using the knife strategy and cheese the comms officers the same way as before. There is a medal by the Southwest slot machines. With the key, go out to the big wheel doors. This will bring us back to one key, but we want two keys when we go through the promenade doors. So first, we will go upstairs to the Solarium. That's the room where all the fungus took over the swimming pool, which was probably a real disappointment for the kids. crazy jumping fish are the first enemies in the Solarium, so get ready to shoot them when the door opens. I use the shotgun because that has ammo recovery, and we won't be using it much in the next room. This fishman is low level, so you can take him out with some well-placed shots. Next is a rock monster. I like to wait for him to charge and use Keith's extra dodge to sidestep him and then shoot his weak spot with a couple shotguns. Ignore any other enemies and jump in the water. We are going to do some cheesing in this room. Underwater, make your way to the northeast ladder, climb it and immediately jump back in the water. We only want to spawn all the enemies over here and cheese them from the diving board. Take the left tunnel to get to the diving board. It's a small area here, so I went up the diving ladder right away rather than dealing with the rock monster and fishman. We can deal with them later. Now, start cheesing everyone in the room. Since we have grenade and lure recovery, I went ahead and tried to get a couple of them at a time, but it doesn't always work out that way. I also bounced a couple grenades on the guys below the diving board. Don't forget the medal lying flat on the south ledge. This rock monster is still stuck behind the pool bar, probably trying to make a drink. But his hands are made of rock. Let's go take him out. Be sure to hit him in the weak spot. Another rock guy spawns by the diving board, and I was able to get in one good shot, but then he ran out of angle. I use the pistol again on the next wave to recover damage. These two fish guys are almost the last two in the Solarium. Get in as many headshots as you can. Now that this fishman is alone, I should have done the fishman cheese strategy, but we will get to that later anyway. There is still a fishman and puffer fish in the side room for the key. Now head all the way back to the promenade door in the main hall. Now that we have two keys, we can use one to enter the promenade door and eventually skip the main promenade area. But first, we have to deal with a few dogs and a comms officer. The dogs are very weak to the knife, so slice them if you can and use health recovery bullets as needed. The comms guy is fast, but he can be cheesed using the railings by the stairs. Avoid the narrow back hallway until you kill him, because there won't be much room to get past him if he corners you in there, and you will be vulnerable to his instant kill attack. Now that he is down, take out the last dogs in the narrow hall. Head through the locked door and go up the stairs and lift the shutter. You will still be one key ahead, so we are going to leave through the Promenade back door without dealing with all the crazies in this room. Now it's a clear shot to the final deck. You can get an herbs out of this level 60 puffer fish in the deck lounge. Since I had damage, I went ahead and used an herb while slicing him, which he immediately gave me back. So you can see how we used the knife as much as possible to get here. We have a relatively full arsenal to start the several waves of enemies until you reach Ghost Norman. While we wait for some ammo and grenades to recover, let's review which grenades to use at which time. The first wave will have fishmen, so they get shock grenades. You will also want to save a few shock grenades for a later wave with the beach blobs. The rock monsters get hand grenades. The comms officers get pulse or lure grenades, but you'll want to save several pulse grenades for the Rachel wave. The invisible hunter and dogs get whatever you can spare, probably shock grenades, although I generally just shot those guys as fast as I could. Okay, let's fast forward. Throw a shock grenade at the fishman when he appears. This will usually stun the hunters too, so get ready to do a full knife spin right out of the gate. The hunters are a priority here because the fishmen are slow. Meanwhile, keep tossing shock grenades at the fishmen as you shoot at the hunters. As you can see, I took too much damage and had to burn an herb already because there was no time for bullet health recovery. You want to avoid that as much as possible. The fishman boss will likely be the last one left. He can be cheesed, but first, let's get some health recovery shots until we are 100% again. Make sure you have your lightweight weapon equipped so you are fast. Now we can cheese him. The strategy to cheese a fishman is similar to the comms officers. Run close to him to aggro him, and run away as he starts his attack animation. Then run back and give him the knife. This will save a lot of ammo. Let's speed it up. Somehow I got a hit here, so back to the health recovery bullets. For the next wave, run as fast as you can to the perimeter because there are exploding balloon guys. For these guys, I try to get them lined up as much as possible and then break out the piercing machine gun to cut through all of them at once. This method will also save a lot of ammo. Now for the comms guys, they are very difficult to cheese unless there is only one, so the priority is to take out the weaker guy here. The strategy is to run fast with the lightweight weapon and throw a pulse or lure grenade when you can. I prefer pulse. Try to throw it when they are near each other, because that makes it easier to hit them both at the same time with a piercing weapon. Keep fast running and take out the foot traps if you have an opening. Make sure to only reload if you have some distance. You see there, I gave the weaker guy some extra shots. The first step is to get down to one guy. Farewell, first comms officer. Now we can cheese the last comms guy the same way we did in the water room and casino. Run close, wait for his attack and knife accordingly. This will take a while, but that's okay, because you're recovering grenades and ammo will reload in the meantime. But let's speed this up. Now for the rock monsters. Give them a hand grenade while they are all in the middle as soon as they are all fully spawned. From there, I use hand grenades whenever there are at least two of them close together. Keith's dodge bonus will come in handy during this wave because the one guy charges a lot. Once you are down to one, you can use grenades if you still have several left, or do the dodge, turn and shoot method. Next are the beach blobs and propeller guys. The beach blobs are very weak to shock grenades, so hopefully you have at least a couple left to take them out right away. These last guys can be knifed. Use your healing recovery weapon as needed. I had a lot of failed dodge attempts during this wave. The next dog, an invisible hunter wave, is one of the tougher ones. It may have helped to burn a couple extra pulse grenades to expose the hunters early on. This wave can force you to burn herbs and ammo. You can see I didn't hesitate to shoot. No cheesing here, just take out whoever you can as fast as you can. Watch for the dust of invisible hunter footprints. The last hunter is a bit of a bullet sponge. Hit him out of the air if you can and give him a full blade roundhouse. The Rachel wave is easier than you think if you still have a pulse grenades, because she stays stunned long enough to get in 2 full knife attacks, if you are quick. I deliberately tried to kill the last Rachel with the shotgun, because that has the part equipped for bonus herb to spawn, and it paid off. Now it's time for the first Norman. He can be cheesed. You have to be patient and be willing to stand right in his face. Keep knifing him, and when he raises a hand, stop, pause and dodge. You notice I also tilt the camera up a lot. That is because he would often glitch out and disappear at certain depths when you are backed against the railing. Looking up seemed to help. When he drops to a knee, you can speed things up with your heavy weapons. But if you are low on ammo and good at dodging, you can just keep going with the knife. There will be an opportunity before Ghost Norman to recover some ammo, so you can also count on that later too. That's it for Norman round 1. But wait, first there is a sneaky wave of jumping fish and the king of all the puffer fish. If you have any lure grenades left, use them here, otherwise knife like crazy. The puffer king glitches out here, but he can't hide from the blade. Once more, I ended him with the shotgun and scored another herb. We will need those because Ghost Norman has at least one move that is harder to dodge. For now, we can collect some prime loot and then take a break while the grenade and recovery ammo do their thing. You can wait here as long as you want, so feel free to take a break. I waited long enough for the shotgun to refill. Let's fast forward. Ghost Norman can be cheesed similar to the first Norman. But he has heavy armor and he backs away more, so you have to keep moving into him as you knife. The dodges are generally the same, but I will end up using several herbs during this fight because the attacks and dodge windows are slightly different and I had less experience this far into the level. When he rages and glows purple, his weak spot will stay on his chest and it's time to unload some bullets, unless you are brave enough to knife him for a long time. You will notice that you can still dodge while reloading, which can come in handy if you have a slow loading weapon because it will instantly reload if you successfully dodge during a reload. I could have switched to another weapon, but the shotgun had the gluttony part, so I stuck with that for the moment. I also started sneaking in some grenade tosses, although in reviewing the video, they seemed to only do damage on him when he was not in a purple rage. When he was down to almost nothing, I switched to the pistol to skip a reload and save time. And in the chaos ended up finishing him with the machine gun. Collect your rewards and hit the gold symbol. And there you go, Ghost Ship Solo with a little bit of cheese. You get the Jill pirate costume as a reward. Thank you for watching, always pursue the truth.